Hello and welcome to Excel Essentials. In this session, we'll be covering the left and the right formula. The left and the right functions in Excel are used to extract text from the left or the right hand side of a piece of string or text in a cell. Now, it's very simple to use the left and right formulas, and I have also got them up on screen. So these are the structures of the left and right formulas. And we're going to test it out on our two sentences here. So let's play around with the left formula first. Now I'm going to type equals left and we're going to open that. And the first element we have to input is our text. So the cell we're going to select. And for us, that's going to be this B2 here. Then we're going to hit a comma, or if you have a slightly different oriented keyboard, you will use a semicolon. This is most common in Europe. And then we have to specify the number of characters. So if I was to put just one and was to close it, we would just get the I. Now, if I was to put two instead of one, we would get an I and a space. And because it's a space, we won't really notice it. But let's say I was to put in four. So we'd have two letters of the word have. So it would be I ha. That would be returned. Now let's try it with the right formula. And with the right formula, it's the same logic here as well. So we'd input our text. So that would be I have a really long sentence here too, which is our B3. Then we're going to do comma. And then let's say we're going to put in 2, for example. And as you see, we get oo, which are the last two characters of the cell here. Now let's say we up that to say 9, for example. We get the space here, space, and 2. And as you can see, that's 4 plus 3, which is 7, and the two spaces is 9. So it just returns counting backwards. Now we're going to use the left and right formula in a slightly different use case. And here, as you can see, we've got some dates in column A, which occur every year. And then we have a month text, a day and a year column. And then you see we've got a mini table here in columns J and K with April, May, June, 4, 5, 6. And column C is calculated using X lookup. And in column F, it uses a combination of if error and date value to calculate the date. Now, we're going to start off using the left formula to get the month as a text. And as you see, it's a 3-letter month format, so APR. And we're going to do equals left. And we're going to select our text. And we want the first 3 characters. And if we hit enter, as you can see in column C, it's now calculated that. If I bring this along here, you can now see that the rest have changed to April. Now we're going to select this one and we're going to do May instead. And as you see, May is replicated here, and we'll do a June one here too. So as you can see, we've got April, May, and June replicated, and then the XLOOKUP has pulled the relevant month number from the table, which is 4, 6, and 5. Now we're going to come back today in a second, and we're going to have a look at the year. And as we see, the year is 4 digits, so it's 4 characters. And here is where we will then use the right formula. So we're going to do equals right, and we're going to select our cell, which is in this case is A2, and we're going to do comma and then 4. And as you see here, we now get 2023. And as you see, as I double click to have it calculate the rest, you now see the other numbers for the other years, which are all in chronological order. Now, day is where it's the hardest, but What makes it easier is at the moment the days are 2 digits, so we have 12 for all of them. And what we're going to do first is we're going to use a combination of the left and right formula. To make it easier, we're going to start off with the left formula. Rather than having to count backwards, we'll count forwards. And APR is 3 characters. Then we have a space, which is 1. And then we have our 2-digit date, which is 2. So it's 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. So we're going to use the left formula and we're going to use the number of characters as 6. And now we'll get everything before the comma. So as you can see here, we get April 12, June 12, and May 12. I'm going to change one of these April 12s to 14, and you see it also changes and updates there as well. I'm going to change this other April 12 to a different day in April, April 28th. You see it also pulls that through. Now we only need the last 2 digits here, the last 2 characters. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the left formula in a right formula. So just like we did with the year, this output, the left, as you can see, as we hover over, the April 12 comes up, and we just want the last 2 characters. We'll do comma and 2, and as you see, we get the 12. And now as you see, we do that, the date column in column F starts filling up with the information we have provided. And as you see, the date value and the if error has now changed from no values entered into giving us our actual date in a different format. Stay tuned for more Excel Essentials.